get that some of you guys are pretty wondering about, there's so many villains that are from movies, but what about the ones that are from the novels that never appeared in any movies? That's where this cat, who has a bended tail, comes in. Well, never expecting another novel villain, but he is a feline warrior cat villain! Born in Shadowfang and Yellowfang Secret, he was born by Yellowfang, an old Shadowfang and now a ThunderClan medicine cat, and Ragged Star, who was the former leader of ShadowClan before he became leader in the first place. And, well, because medicine cats were allowed to have kids after both of his sisters were dead, Yellowfang brought him to Listerstrike to take care of him. Everyone actually knew that Ragged Star was his father, but they never knew that Yellowfang was actually his own mother and that, well, Listerstrike was his foster mother. And because he wanted to be leader and he was deputy, he killed off his father so he could be leader. And because of his hunger for power, he uses kids that are not supposed to be apprentices yet as warriors, like the smallest warrior, Badgerfang. And so into the wild, he was known as Broken Star. And so, he was driven out with a couple of his followers by Firepaw, Greypaw, and Yellowfang, and a couple of ShadowClan and ThunderClan warriors, considering about how long he was doing as leader in the first place. And so when he returned in Fire and Ice with his rogues, after one of them getting killed, Yellowfang blinded him by scratching his eyes, and he was kept a prisoner in ThunderClan. And well, after the events of Tiger Claw's attack on Blue Star, well, Yellowfang realized that she couldn't let him live anymore, and so she found deathberries for him to think they were herbs to heal his wounds. And so, after eating him, he slowly dies after panicking, realizing that Yellowfang was his mother and that he was fed deathberries full. Ever since then, he now roams in the dark forest along with his followers that betrayed their clans and start climbing along with the warrior code. He will always be remembered as the Tabby Tom with the bended tail of all times. Much like Broken Star, this cat always appeared or sometimes is mentioned in the Warrior Cats. But he only appeared in the final book for the first arc and died in that one. But we all get to see something else. Not to mention that he was the runt of the litter, and then turned into an evil tyrant. Yes, I know it's another Warrior Cat villain, but please bear with me, people, because he's a lot more better than you think. He is the son of a young she-cat kitty pet named Clint, has a brother named Socks, and a sister named Ruby. He has a father named Jake, who is also the father of the great powerful leader of ThunderClan Firestar, making them half-brothers. Also, he is known to be the half-brother of Princess, Firestar's key pet sister, and the cousins of Squirrelflight, Leafpool, and Princess's son Cloudtail also. He has a small black tongue with a torn left ear, a purple-colored Shedwood dog teeth, one white paw, and icy blue eyes, and is the leader of an unofficial terrible clan of Tule Place, Blood Clan, where all cats kill cats and dogs and collect teeth on their collars to show them as their trophies, which is how they look tough and stuff. He first appeared and died in the last book of the original arc, The Darkest Hour, where Tigerstar persuades him to join him in order to kill Firestar and ThunderClan, but when he refused to help, he killed off Tigerstar, considering that, well, after he heard the story about Tigerstar explained by Firestar, he ripped out all of his nightlights using from the throat and the belly to the tail, ripping them all out in one blow. And during the final battle for the forest, he not only did he take one of Firestar's lives, he was killed also. And then the official main book was made up for their first one, The Rise of Scourge. And tell us about when he was younger, how he became to be. And because he was the runt of the litter, his litter mates never liked him, and that he was called Tiny. And because on this adoption thing and that her brother and sister are gonna get adopted, Ruby lied to him saying that unwanted kids get thrown in the river, and so he runs away and runs into a patrol where pretty much he gets attacked by Tigerstar when he was only an apprentice but then was stopped by Blue Fur, and ever since then, he ran out to Tulip Place and got his first tooth from a dog. And pretty much he lied about saying that he killed the dog and pried open the jaw, took it as his trophy. And there he met Bone and Brick, who asked him if he really did kill dogs. And so he pretty much faces the dog and scares it off with his shadow. And there was the start of Scourge. And not only that, he had to kill one of Alcazar's goons. And pretty much when Sox and Ruby came to, well, pretty much for food, well, after he let them eat, Scourge banished them permanently because of how they acted to him when he was younger. And soon enough, Tiger Star appears finally in the beginning of the Darkest Hour, also close to the ending of the Rise of Scourge, where he has a proposition for him for taking over the Force and ends up killing him in the end. And even though he's not the best villain, I recommend him. Please don't be mad that this is another Cats, but he's a lot better. He's a lot epic, but Scourge is still my favorite character, but he's an okay cat, even though he's more like the main antagonist in all of the books. This cat is the last warrior cat villain on this list. I promise you guys. Promise. Born in ThunderClan in Blue Star's prophecy, Tiger Star was pretty much born by Leopardfoot and Pine Star, who was the former leader of ThunderClan before Blue Star, before he went as a kitty pet. And so when, well, he was born with two sisters, one being known as Night Kid and one being known as Mist Kid. When he was known as Tiger Claw, he mated a beautiful she-cat named Goldenflower and gave birth to two kids. Bramaclaw, the new deputy of ThunderClan, and Tawnypelt, who left ThunderClan for ShadowClan because she felt unloved. And then after he was exiled, he mated Sasha and gave birth to three kids. Hawkfrost, Mothwing, and then Tadpole, who pretty much died when he was a kid. When he was an apprentice, he was mentored by a dark warrior named Thistleclaw, and so had a bit of a quarrel with Scourge when he was younger, apparently. He then became clanmates with one of his apprentices, Darkstripe, and Darkstripe's apprentice, Longtail. He got another apprentice, Ravenpaw, who found out a dark secret that because he wanted to be a leader, he killed off Redtail, the ThunderClan deputy, after Lionheart, and he became deputy. And so, he ambushed Blue Star and forced a secret, and then was exiled for his crimes. He even tried to persuade Duskpelt, Longtail, and Darkstripe to come with them, but they refused and he leaves. And then, pretty much, in Rising Storm, he comes back as the new leader of ShadowClan, and he became the main antagonist in A Dangerous Path, where he brings a pack of dogs to feed off and kill off ThunderClan. But because of those guys, they left not only the disfiguration of Braveheart, but the death of three loved ThunderClan cats. One of them being known as Swiftpaw, well, Longtail's apprentice, Brindleface, what he used to give the dogs a taste of cat blood, and unfortunately, Blue Star's last life as well. And so, in the Darkest Hour, he was killed off by Scourge from the throat to the tail, ripping them out. And in the New Prophecy arc, he tried to persuade his sons to join all four clans into two, but failed after, the whole Hawkfrost and Foxtrap incident. And pretty much in the Power of Three, he tried to persuade White Blaze to join him with Hawkfrost, but failed too. And now, with his allegiance in the Dark Force and Omen of the Stars, he reigns the cats together to destroy the clans with fury and power. He is a very dark and dangerous cat, believe me. Now, why can't we all call him Tiger Star? What am I gonna tell you? Okay. So, number one. There are many villains I've seen in novels. We already mentioned the games, the movies, everything. But this one's from a video game. Let's just say that he's the insane and evil jester of Kirby. That's right, everybody. Max from Kirby is #1 on my top 10 all-around best villains. Let's get to his history. Let's go. He was once best friends with Kirby until the events of Dark Matter. His mind snapped, and his plot to take over Popstar has been completed. He first made his debut in Kirby Superstar, where he got the Sun and the Moon to fight, where he tries to persuade Kirby to go to space and find Nova, a very powerful comet that gives you one wish, but he takes his wish to control Popstar, which was granted. And so, coming from a cute little jester he transformed into a bad, insane jester, where you have to face as the final boss, where you have to face him on a very weird planet. And after you defeat him, he runs into Nova, where both of them explode and he is found dead. And that actually happened the same way in Kirby Superstar Ultra, but it's a little different now. In the true arena, as the final one of the final four, he has now became a demonic version of his bat form, known as Mark Soul, where he looks a lot freakier than usual. He has red wings, his head color is mixed up, 3 claws, pointed shoes, a medallion, and he freaking sticks his tongue out. You have to face him in a distorted dimension where after you stop him, he splits in half along with a haunting scream. And after that, he's made in all kinds of cameos outside of that game. We even find him as the final boss in Ballbro Mass Attack, and a stone statue for Kirby in Kirby's Return to Dreamland on the Wii. And one last thing I want to say is that he has a bit of a familiarity with Malgor, the main antagonist in Kirby's Return to Dreamland. I have got to say, I'm very impressed about how the results about him became, as he will always be remembered as the non-Disney villain that is #1 on my list of all times. And that's all I got for the top 10 all-around best villains. I guess you guys can notice about there are so many villains that are not from Disney, but are really good. I get Disney I'm really used to, but there are a lot of ones that are not from Disney that I'm also used to. So, in the meantime, peace out, guys!
Step 1, you say